Hello friends, it's time for another INTP video. This time we're going to talk about INTPs themselves. So here we go. I have 16 things to do in order to capture the heart of an INTP. These are in no particular order, and I'm going to read them very quickly and efficiently. That should get the INTJs and INTPs very interested, and maybe others too. So here we go. Number 1, say interesting things. This is big. Be interesting. Say something interesting. If you want us to be attracted to you, you've got to say interesting things. Number 2, be very obvious when flirting. If you're not obvious, then we're probably not going to pick up on it. If we do pick up on it, we're going to think, was that intentional or unintentional? And what's their flirting style? There's a lot of different flirting styles, and so it may have not been intentional, even though society would say that it was intentional. And not everybody plays by the same rule book. And so maybe the fact that they touched my arm was just because they like people, and not because they're attracted to me, etc., etc. So by flirting, I mean say, hey, Jeremy, would you like to go on a date? That'll work. Number 3, don't take offense by us asking questions. If you don't take offense by us asking questions, then we'll be attracted to you, because that means that you actually enjoy the learning process and enjoy the quest for knowledge and can appreciate it, which is always something that we find attractive. Number 4, don't take offense by us explaining things. Don't accuse us of mansplaining and belittling people by explaining things. INTPs love to explain things. We love it. It actually allows us to confirm our own knowledge, and it's a way for us to bond with other people, believe it or not, is simply by explaining things. And it gives us an immense amount of satisfaction. We'll fall for you if you allow us to explain things unrestricted. Number 5, don't control us. This sounds very stereotypical to a lot of relationships, but it's very important with INTP, and I'll tell you why. INTPs, not only do we not like to be controlled, but the very essence of control and having things set in stone is kind of the antithesis to INTP, because we like to see things as opportunistic and flexible and be able to take advantage of things as they arise. And if you try to control what we do and control our life, even passively, then it's not attractive to us. It's going to cause a lot of frustration, and we're going to be like, bye, Felicia. So number 6, have an open mind. That's extremely attractive to INTPs. If someone else has a very open mind, and we can tell, and they're open to new ideas and new concepts and new potential outcomes of situations and new cultures and new thoughts and ideas, and they aren't frowned upon, then we will be your best friend and romantic partner forever. So, yep. Number 7, take interest in our interests. I didn't realize for a long time that we found this to be attractive, but we do. We really like it whenever someone else, especially our partner, takes interest in what we are interested in. And we can have conversations about it and generate ideas and have a tennis match verbally about where things could go with a certain topic or idea. And it really feels very warm, because whenever we share what is interesting to us with another person, we're essentially sharing our essence, because we have a lot of different hobbies and interests, and they can be rather esoteric sometimes. And if someone else says, you know what, I like that esoteric thing, then that's basically saying, and by the way, I like you. So, yep. Number 8, follow us down the rabbit hole in conversation. If you can do this, there's a chance we might start giggling uncontrollably, even just laughing hysterically. We love it when people will latch onto our oftentimes rabbit hole-like conversations, where we go from one idea to another and make it more absurd and just take it down to where it's exaggerated, and then take it even further, and then latch that onto something completely different, and go on and on and on. Don't try to take us back up to reality. Reality sucks. 9, give us alone time. So if you're willing to allow us to have our own alone time and not take offense by the fact that we want to be alone sometimes, then things will, that's attractive to us. The reason we find it attractive is because not many people are willing to just say, oh, he wants alone time. Okay, I'm not going to read into that. Most people think that there's something wrong or that we don't like them, and that's very frustrating. So if you want to capture our heart, then be okay with us wanting alone time. It's nothing personal. Number 10, ask us to help solve a problem. We love solving problems. That's one of the most attractive things in the world for us. If someone says, hey, Jeremy, could you help me solve this issue I have? And I can use my brain to come up with ideas and conclusions or ways to solve the situation. Not conclusion, what's the word? Remediations, resolutions. That's not even the word. Anyway, if we can help solve a problem, then it creates a trust dynamic where we are counted upon for our ability and for our competency, and our knowledge is seen as something that is good and put to good use and trusted, and that's one of the most highest compliments you can give us. Number 11, help us navigate social situations. Social situations, they're exhausting, and oftentimes we have to look through a playbook in our head to figure out what to do in social situations. So if you want to attract us and capture our heart, then act as the guiding light in social situations and say, oh, and then, kind of grab the INTP proverbially or maybe literally by the arm and say, okay, now we go over here and talk to these people. And it's okay to cut into this conversation because, that there was an opening, but over here it's not okay, and so we're not going to talk to them right now. And yes, we should RSVP because that's what you do in this situation. But in this other thing, no, we don't have to RSVP. That's not important. And we should bring a gift here, but not bring a gift there. And we should offer to pay here and not there. And we should definitely hang out, even though we hung out once this week already, and stuff like that. Just help us through that stuff. It's not easy for us. Number 12, give us a heads up on social engagements and be flexible with our response. This is huge, huge. Okay, INTPs do not like to have our lives planned out. And I remember in number 5, I said, don't control us. This is sort of related to that. We really don't like for our lives to be set in stone and for everything to be planned out in advance. However, I will say that if we are going to be asked to be put into a social engagement, placed into a social engagement, it sounds like we're robots. We sort of are a little bit. Activate INTP, and then we start prancing around the room like the robot from whatever that sci-fi movie was called. Galaxy? No. Anyway, Battlestar no. So give us a heads up. We need time to prepare for a social engagement. On Friday night, don't be like, oh, Jeremy, #YOLO, let's go to the club with 0 notice. The answer is going to be no. I guarantee it. Give us a few days heads up. But don't do that a lot. Doing that a lot then adds stress because then you're controlling us. So just keep it in the gray area. Number 13, be emotionally stable. We need this so much. So by emotionally stable, I don't mean that you can't express emotion. You can express emotion, that's fine. That's a natural part of life. Even INTPs express emotion. Seriously. It can be infantile sometimes, and especially a younger INTP, say under the age of 30, it can be quite difficult to handle emotional situations. But pro tip, INTPs out there, once you get into your 30s, that stuff gets a lot easier just because of wisdom and etc. etc. But anyway, be emotionally stable. We don't like whenever people are emotionally unstable and having proverbial shit shows and creating drama and stuff whenever drama wasn't necessary and all that. That's very stressful for us because it really doesn't make sense. And the thing is, we speak, INTPs and a few other types, we speak in truths, meaning that we don't speak with emotion. Whenever we talk and express ourselves, it's a truth that we've thought about and are delivering in order to make a statement. Other types, and not necessarily feeling types, even though there is a correlation, tend to express themselves via emotion. Be very careful with that with an INTP. In other words, don't say something you don't mean just because you are feeling emotional. INTPs will take it very literally and think that you are very serious about it, and it can create a lot of problems. So if you want to capture our heart, show us that you're an anchor of emotional stability so that we can trust that and we'll know what to expect. Number 14, don't play games. There's a lot of websites and books out there that say, okay, now, when dating and trying to capture someone's heart, so after the first date, leave an item at their apartment so that then they have to come back over and get... No, that stuff doesn't work with us at all. It just doesn't. We're going to think, what? Huh. At least I'm not the only one that forgets shit everywhere. And then that's it. That doesn't mean anything to us. The end. If you're playing a game like, I'm going to wait 2 or 3 days before texting that person because I don't want to seem too eager and I don't want to look like I'm desperate. No, we don't care. We don't care at all. If you go on a date and it was fun, text them and say, Dear INTP friend, that was amazing. Let's go out again. We will not think you're desperate. We will not think that you're too eager. We don't care. We don't operate by the normal playbook of social engagement. Just tell us. Number 15, be unique and march to the beat of your own drummer. This is one of the most attractive things a person could ever do to us. Whenever I see a woman that is unique and she's willing to do whatever she wants and she's not practicing social convention, it is hot to me. I think it's so attractive. It's very attractive. And it basically says, you know what? There's a little bit of me in you and a little bit of you in me. Because we're both unconventional and we're both putting aside the social conventions that bind most of society, and we can kind of relish in that camaraderie, and it's a very warm feeling and it's very attractive to us. So if I think of Luna Lovegood from Harry Potter, whenever she wears the random outfits and stuff like that, that's very attractive, stuff like that. So. And then 16, expand our ideas instead of contracting them. Okay, sensing types, we need to talk, all right? One of the most unattractive things that you can do to an INTP is whenever we come up with an idea, even if it's very exaggerated, is to say, well, that wouldn't actually work. Or, how exactly would you do that, though? Or, you're exaggerating, that's not really how it would be. Okay, somebody call the fun police. You know, stop resisting, hands behind your back, you're under arrest, fun police. Like, my God, no. So latch onto our ideas and make them larger and even more ridiculous and take us down the rabbit hole with those ideas. That's very attractive to us, and it shows that I'm willing to have my brain stretched alongside him, you know, and that feels really good. It's a journey. Some people say, I want to travel together with my partner. I want to travel across the globe and go to football games together and stuff. You know what an INTP wants? If you want to capture their heart, an INTP wants someone that will go along with them in their mental thought processes and ideas and very deep conversations. That's what we want. So, I hope you thought these were good. This is 16 ideas on how to capture the heart of an INTP. If you haven't hit like or subscribe, please do so using the awkward silence that I'm about to give you, and it's starting right now. Did you do it? You did it. I love you.